Your cat walks into the room. They don't look at you the way they look at the window. They don't look at you the way they look at a bird outside. They move toward you slowly, deliberately, and then they do something strange. They press the top of their head directly into your chin, or they curl beside you, not near you, but against you. And they close their eyes. Not because they're tired, because you're there. And somewhere in that moment, a quiet question appears. One most owners never actually stop to ask. What does my cat think I am? Not what they feel, not whether they love you, but what category of existence have they placed you in? Because the answer is not what you'd expect. And once you understand it, every small behavior, the slow blink, the head press, by the way they follow you from room to room, will never look the same again. Most people assume their cat sees them as a provider, someone who opens cans, controls the thermostat, and occasionally offers a lap, a kind giant, a useful human. And there's a comforting logic to that idea. It lets us feel needed without having to think too deeply about what's actually happening beneath the surface. But behavioral researchers studying feline social cognition have found something that quietly disrupts that assumption. Cats don't interact with humans the way they interact with other species they simply tolerate. They interact with us the way they interact with other cats. Specifically, the cats they trust most. That distinction matters more than it sounds. 1. You are a social companion in their colony. In feral cat colonies, Hama's social structure is built around proximity and trust. Cats who belong to the same group don't just share territory, they groom each other. They sleep touching, they communicate through scent, through slow blinks, through the angle of an ear. They maintain what researchers call proximity bonds, relationships where physical closeness signals emotional safety. Now think about what your cat does with you. They follow you to the bathroom. They position themselves just inside whatever room you're in. They don't always want to be held, but they want to be near. That distinction is everything. Because in feline social language, choosing to remain in your orbit isn't passive. It's an active decision made again and again, dozens of times a day. Your cat is not following you because you have food. Cats are ambush predators. They are biologically wired to be self-sufficient, to wait, to calculate. If food were the only variable, they would wait by the bowl. Instead, they follow you. And that behavior, choosing presence over convenience, is one of the clearest signals that they have placed you inside their social group, not as a servant, as a companion. 2. The grooming behavior that carries a hidden message. When your cat licks your hand, your hair, the side of your face, most people smile and think it's sweet. And it is. But what's actually happening is far more significant than affection alone. Allogrooming, mutual grooming between individuals, is a social bonding behavior observed almost exclusively between cats who share deep trust. In the wild, cats groom the cats they feel safe with, vulnerable with. The places they choose to groom, the head, by the neck, the ears, are the places a cat cannot groom themselves. Offering that behavior to another living being is a biological act of vulnerability. When your cat licks you, they are not just being affectionate, they are treating you as someone worth protecting, someone in their group who deserves care. From an evolutionary perspective, this is one of the most intimate gestures a cat can offer. And most owners brush it off within seconds and go back to their phone. This is where most owners get it wrong, not out of cruelty, but because no one ever explained what the gesture actually meant. And a behavior that goes unacknowledged in feline social language can read as disinterest, as rejection. The cat offered something real and received nothing in return. 3. Their stress response reveals who you are to them. Here's something behavioral science has found that quietly reframes everything. When cats are stressed, genuinely stressed, not just startled, they seek out specific individuals. Not just any warm body, not just whoever is nearest. They move toward the ones they have bonded with, the ones their nervous system has learned to associate with safety. Cortisol levels in cats, the hormone most directly linked to stress, have been shown to decrease when they are in the presence of familiar, trusted companions. That biological response doesn't happen with strangers. It doesn't happen with people they merely tolerate. It happens with members of their social world. If your cat comes to find you when something frightens them, a loud noise, an unfamiliar visitor, a disruption in routine, they are not looking for a human, they are looking for their person. And that is not a small thing, that is attachment. Quiet, instinctual, and completely real. If you're starting to see your cat differently right now, that feeling is exactly what this is about. Hit like and subscribe if this is changing the way you see them. 4. Scent is their language, and you are fluent in it. Cats experience the world primarily through smell in a way that humans genuinely cannot imagine. They have nearly 40 times more odor-sensitive cells than we do, and scent for them is not just information, it is identity. When your cat rubs their face against you, their cheek, their chin, the side of their head, they are leaving behind pheromones from their facial glands. This behavior is called bunting. And it does not happen with objects they simply use. It happens with things and beings they want to claim, to mark as part of their world, part of their safe space. You carry their scent, and they recognize their own scent on you as something that signals safety, familiarity, and belonging. From their perspective, you smell like home. 5. The slow blink is the most misunderstood signal of all. This is the one most people miss. Your cat looks at you across the room, their eyes are half closed, and slowly they blink. Long, deliberate, and then they look away. Most people see this and think nothing of it. Or they assume the cat is sleepy, disinterested, checked out. But in feline body language, a direct stare is a challenge. It is confrontational. It is what cats do when they are uncertain about another animal's intentions. Holding eye contact in the wild carries weight. The slow blink breaks that tension entirely. It says, I am not a threat to you. I trust you enough to close my eyes in your presence. In a species wired for vigilance, where closing your eyes means lowering your guard, that gesture is not casual. It is one of the most deliberate acts of trust a cat can offer. When your cat slow blinks at you, they are telling you something without words. And if you slow blink back, gently, unhurried, you are answering them in a language they understand completely. So what are you to your cat? You are not their owner in any way they recognize. You are not a provider they merely tolerate. You are not furniture that occasionally moves and feeds them. You are a member of their world. A trusted companion placed inside the category of beings worth grooming, worth following, worth seeking out in moments of fear. You carry their scent. You share their space. Your presence lowers their cortisol. Your slow blink speaks to something ancient in them. Cats did not evolve to love humans. Their social systems existed long before we became part of them, which means every cat that chooses to bond with a person, genuinely bond, not just coexist, is doing something that goes beyond instinct. They are extending a social world that was never designed to include us, and letting us in anyway. That quiet decision repeated every day in the smallest gestures is its own kind of profound. And maybe that's exactly what makes it worth paying attention to.